I'm Dr. Ryan Stanton with another Tools of the Trade. Today I'm joined by Sam Baumgartner, a paramedic with the Lexington Fire Department, who's going to tell us about the EZ-IO. And more now with our personality in this country, we just aren't satisfied with going in with a weight bench and maybe a Nautilus machine or something like that. We want to go extreme. Right. We want to live on the edge. We don't have a great attention span, so we want to do something different. I mean, it's not good to be lifting weights. Let's lift weights on top of an exercise. For the most part, a screening physical or a sports physical is pretty basic and pretty routine. But if there's something about your child, something that you have a concern about, point that out so they can take a closer look at it, because it's best to figure it out then and straighten it out then discover it or find out down the road when it could be more serious. There are no guarantees in life and no guarantees in horse racing, but with the standard safety equipment, maybe these riders will just live to ride another day. I'm Dr. Ryan Stanton for ABC 36 News. I'm Dr. Ryan Stanton with another Tools of the Trade. Today I'm joined by Sam Baumgartner, a paramedic with the Lexington Fire Department, who's going to tell us about the EZ-IO. Sam, thanks for joining me. All right, now Sam, at first glance this thing looks like it came out of a kid's toy box. What is the EZ-IO?
It's essentially just a drill that we can use to get into the patient's humerus to deliver medicines like an IV quickly.
All right, so you mentioned the humerus. Why is the bone such an ideal place for this device?
It goes into the space where the marrow is, where the red blood cells are made. That way we can deliver, it's almost like a vein, we can deliver medications or fluids into that space rapidly for patients that need it right away.
Now when you're on a scene, when are the situations where you would use a device like this?
There are a variety of applications for this. This is mainly for patients who need access right away, heart attacks, burns, severe trauma, basically patients that need access immediately.
All right, I want to have Sam tell us how this device works, and while we're doing that, we're actually going to show a little bit of video of him actually placing one in my arm in the studio. So Sam, tell us how this device works.
Essentially, you find your landmarks in the humerus or the tibial site. For this demonstration, we're talking about the humerus. Once you find your landmarks, you attach the needle and you poke it through the skin to find the head of the humerus, and then you drill through to the center of the bone and unscrew, and that part sticks inside the humerus to deliver the fluids.
How long does this process take?
It takes seconds, literally 10 to 20 seconds.
Now the question on a lot of people's mind now is, why is this important?
Because you don't have to waste time looking for peripheral access sites. It's very fast, it's very effective. In these kind of situations, time is tissue and time is life, and you can gain access right away.
Thank you, Sam. There you have it, another tool right there on the front lines of medicine. I'm Dr. Ryan Stanton, and I hope you join me next time for Tools of the Trade.
Gothrop here at Georgetown Community Hospital with our doc on call, Dr. Ryan Stanton, to find out what's going around. And this time of year, the kids don't want to hear it, but we're just about to back to school and those physicals are starting up. So what should parents expect as they're trying to get these physicals in before school starts?
One is, especially if a kid is going to be active in athletics, you need to have at least one exam every year, make sure that everything is going well. And we recommend that for anybody. You need to have a regular doctor visit, make sure things are up to date, immunizations, that sort of thing. But really about this, you need to plan ahead. There's a huge rush on clinics and primary care doctors about the time school starts to get these physicals done. So plan ahead of time, get in there and get it knocked out. Be patient. There's a lot of people trying to get in there, and give them a lot of flexibility in order to get in there. But you need to make sure that it's done and not wait until the activity's already started, find out you're behind, and try to then have to rush and get something done.
So should parents ask for anything specific for their kid's doctor to check out?
When you go in there, make sure that the physician is aware of anything that you may have concerns about, anything that you've seen or noticed, or any developmental issues or things they may have to look closely into. For the most part, a screening physical or a sports physical is pretty basic and pretty routine. But if there's something about your child, something that you have a concern about, point that out so they can take a closer look at it, because it's best to figure it out then and straighten it out then discover it or find out down the road when it could be more serious.
And what about immunizations or vaccinations?
In terms of immunizations, you want to make sure that those are up to date every year. We're seeing a lot of increase in the number of infections because people are choosing not to get their vaccinations, and other children that are just too young to get them. So make sure your kids' vaccinations are up to date, especially when it comes to activities. A lot of cuts and bruises, risk for tetanus and that sort of thing. So make sure that when you go in there, especially even if they aren't doing sports, that they are in there and get those up to date, and make sure that can make a huge difference when it comes to the emergency room or to the doctor's office or illness down the road.
And as you said, Dr. Stanton, everybody should be getting their yearly physical, right? So everybody can schedule it. Thanks for joining us, and make sure you tune in every Thursday as we find out what's going around. Welcome back. There are countless ways to exercise, but when it comes to actually moving your body, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Our Doc on Call, Dr. Ryan Stanton, is here to give us some advice based on a viewer question that you got from Lori. Let's roll it out. She said, I saw an article in which you talk about the risks of some of the more extreme exercise fitness trends. Can you talk about some of these activities and what many of us resolvers should do to get in shape?
When you guys hit it exactly right on the teacher, that the beginning of January is a huge boom for the area of fitness facilities. And more now with our personality in this country, we just aren't satisfied with going in with a weight bench and maybe a Nautilus machine or something like that. We want to go extreme.
Right.
We want to live on the edge. We don't have a great attention span, so we want to do something different. I mean, it's not good to be lifting weights. Let's lift weights on top of an exercise ball or something like that. Well, here's one right there.
That looks dangerous.
And if you go to YouTube, you can actually see some very entertaining videos about what happens when this goes wrong. And if you've never tried to balance on a ball, I can't imagine actually throwing weights on top of that. It's fraught with badness.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other things as well, as the hot yoga experiences out there, trying to get there and make it more exciting and burning more energy, as well as this pole dancing type things where you get up there and burn a lot of energy. We see a lot of falls associated with those. Well, these are getting people into the emergency room. This just seems terrible.
It's just
that may have just
disturbing.
ruined the rest of my day. I mean, we may just have to shut off the TV for now, just because of that. But don't do that. The
Let's not
advertisers
scare away all the
do
viewers
that.
here.
But you can see why a lot of these things end up with people in the emergency room.
Yes.
I mean, so I want you to get in there. I want you to get fit. I want you to get in shape. But don't end up in the emergency room with me trying to get patched back together for the next opportunity. So here's some tips for this year. Pick something you will enjoy. That's really the most important.
Okay.
Most people fail because they try to get into something they really don't like. So if exercise, you want it to be something that you can really get into and enjoy doing on a daily basis. Two, most importantly here, and it's what happens with a lot of the injuries with these extreme exercise programs, is ease into it. Don't jump all the way into the most extreme version. My wife tried to get me into the CrossFit thing once. I thought I was going to physically die.
Yes.
You have to ease into it.
Yes.
Listen to your body. If things start to hurt, things aren't feeling right, you start to feel lightheaded or dizzy, stop.
Okay.
Take a break. That gets us back to 2 with easing into it. 4, consult your physician, especially if you have heart or lung issues, chronic medical conditions. You need to make sure they're involved, make sure they know, especially if you start to lose weight and you're on a diabetes plan, you can start to have issues or high blood pressure because those medicines as you lose weight will be a little bit overdoing and you'll actually start to correct. So you have to have those physicians closely working with you when you start to get in better shape. And remember, finally, focus on fitness, not pounds. That's the big issue in this country, is getting on the scale and looking at the weight. It's not about weight, it's about fitness.
Right.
What we want to do is decrease that body fat and increase the lean muscle mass, so actually you can gain weight while working out and still end up looking more fit, more trim, and actually your health will benefit much more from that. So worry about the fitness, not the pounds themselves.
That's very important. I have a perfect example for you real quick. I did the Insanity workout for about 5 weeks, which was just crazy, insane.
Well, I mean, it's in the title. I mean, you're ready for it.
But now my knee crunches every time that I go upstairs. So take it easy, guys. Listen to your body.
It's the price you pay for January.
Yeah, ease into it is a great thing to start off with. Well, Dr. Stanton, thank you so much. This is going to help a lot of people get in shape, I think. And if you have any questions for Dr. Stanton as you try to figure out a new fitness plan for yourself or just health questions in general, you can go to his Facebook page, Everyday Medicine, and ask away. And Dr. Stanton.
Here at Keeneland Racecourse, we want to take a closer look at jockeys, keeping them safe. Earlier this week, Calvin Burrell broke his leg. So how do jockeys stay safe at 40 miles per hour on the back of a 1,200-pound animal? The preparations start well before hitting the track, with jockey Anthony Stephen getting weighed in and the horse getting a little warm-up walk in the paddock. Minutes before the race, Stephen takes the mount and heads out on the track.
Hands up.
With the starting bell and for the next minute, the jockey's job is a blur of horses and speed. During the race, Anthony lessens potential injury with the aid of standard safety equipment.
Number one will be the helmet and the body protector. That's the two main stuff we normally wear every day.
But that's no guarantee against injury.
I think common is collarbones. It's very easy, a horse stumble, you fall the wrong way, your collarbone pops out.
So how does it feel not to have the equipment?
If I would come to work in the morning and for some reason I forget to put it on, I feel almost naked. So it's almost like you feel so much safer wearing it.
In the end, Anthony and Juanita Senorita finished in second place, but just by a nose. Today's race went injury-free, but if it hadn't, Dr. Barry Schumer, medical director for Keeneland Racecourse, and his team would be there with the aid of the information in the Jockey Health Information Center.
When a rider gets injured, and an example was just a couple of days ago when we had a rider down, rider was not able to give us answers to any questions, but we had his full medical history and all of his contact information available in the first aid unit before he even arrived on the stretcher.
Potentially life-saving information at their fingertips. There are no guarantees in life and no guarantees in horse racing, but with the standard safety equipment, maybe these riders will just live to ride another day. I'm Dr. Ryan Stanton for ABC 36 News.